So what you have to do is take that statement. In other words, it's all right to begin there by saying, I have experienced so many abusive relationships. But out of that contrast, let your desire be born of what you now want from your next one. And speak that and visualize that, and things then change. So you know what you've lived.
Yeah.
You're amplifying it still further. And it's all right. We've shined the spotlight on it too, but you went for it.
I sure did.
And so out of that keen awareness of all that stuff you no longer want, give us a piece of the clarity of what you know you do want. In other words, if you don't want that, you know you want that. Give us one piece of it. What stands out most in the relationships that you've lived that you know you do not want, that gives you a clear statement of what you do want?
Pretty much what you said about standing on your head of giving and giving and giving from every level of my being, and having that not come back to me and not be a mutual interaction.
All right, so now put it in the terminology of what you desire. In other words, as you're standing and shouting to the universe, you're offering it vibrationally, but put your words to it if you can. What are you asking the universe to yield to you, given all of the experience that you've lived? What is the wise determination that you've made, and what is your now request?
You want me to be wise. Okay.
We know that you are. You cannot bang around that much with that much exposure to that much experience without being very wise and very clear and very sure of what you want.
That's true. I want to call in a mate who honors me for who I am, who recognizes my gifts and talents. And
all right, now don't get too big on this, because
Okay.
you can keep saying it again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
We just wanted a piece of it. So a
Okay.
piece of it is, I want someone who adores me. I want someone who sees me as I am. I want someone who appreciates the fullness of that which I am.
Yes.
Pretty good statement.
Yes.
Now, you've made a statement. You don't believe it for a minute. In other words,
You're too quick.
The statement is a sharp, clear one. In other words, it was a strong point of determination, but it's not where your familiar vibration is. So now let's begin your work. So now find something. Doesn't really matter what it is.
Yes.
Find something in your memory, or make something up, some little interchange that you can focus upon that feels like what you just said you want. In other words, how would that play out? If someone were in your life,
Yes.
and they were loving you and adoring you and honoring you in the way that you say you want, how would that play out?
That would play out in that we absolutely, delightfully loved being with each other and doing things together.
All right, now make that. We were talking to a woman one day, and we were wanting to get her into the feeling place of something. And she said, in response to our prodding, I see two people walking down the beach together. And we said, are you one of them?
I know that scenario.
And so you have this relationship, and you're not together 24 hours a day, but you have this relationship, and you're going to have a moment here that you're going to describe to us where you feel this appreciation from this person. So just pick it and chew on it and visualize it and milk it for the feeling.
Okay. We are canoeing in the boundary waters and just completely involved in the earth and the riches and the spirit beings and the animals that are all around us, and we're excitedly looking forward to setting up our tent and enjoying the night and sharing our meal.
All right, now, this is good. You're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Now, this one is looking at you from this place of connection. Describe it further.
There's a deep sense of connection and intimacy, not just on a sexual, sensual level, but the deep friendship and comradeship as though we were one. I mean, I know the idea of soulmates.
All right, now he's looking right at you. He's looking right at you, and you're almost reading what's in his mind because of the expression that you see on his face. And so, what is that?
It's just... sheer delight at being together, that you would rather be with that person than anyone else in the whole world.
And he is, that's perfect. He is perfect. We're just wanting to get it turned around so that you're milking more the specific rocket that you launched here.
Yeah.
And you've had a great time. He's noticed your skill. He's pleased with your ability to row. He likes your intuition about where to go. He's been enjoying your responsiveness to the animals. You've opened a new awareness in him of all of the deliciousness of that particular experience. He's been complimenting you all over the place about what a fun day this has been. He can't remember the last time that he felt so good. It's so wonderful to be with someone that loves nature in the way that he loves nature. It's so nice to be with someone who wants to feel good as much as you feel good. He is impressed with your clarity and your deftness and your agility and your willingness to play. Milk it. You get a sense of what we're talking. In other words, when you start getting on that roll, you're there. We were all there for a while. The boat was big enough to hold us all. In other words, you get a sense of what we were talking about. In other words, when you get there and you begin to feel something. Now remember, you're not doing this in order to get to a different place. You're taking this moment in time and you're using it as an opportunity to find vibrational harmony with something that you want. And the more real it feels to you, the more you are in the state of allowing the explicit details of what you've been telling the universe that you want. So not only does it help you get closer to what you are wanting, but it's really, 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 really fun in the doing of it. Yes.
Yes.
Good. Now let's pick one other aspect. Another aspect that you are wanting in a relationship. And let's do the same thing with it. Let's bridge it. Bring it closer into vibrational harmony with your desire.
A desire to build a cabin or a home in the woods that involves raising wolves or raising dogs or raising horses.
Now, are we off the subject of relationship, or is this something you are dreaming about within the relationship?
Actually, I'm dreaming about it within. That's my intense desire to be a part of my life, and I feel like it's not complete unless I have that mate that's a part of the picture.
And yet, do you find yourself wondering if there is anyone as strange as you out there?
Yes.
In other words, there is. But the reason that we are putting it in that way is because we feel that by going to that specific vision that you've worked on, and you've had so many people sort of tease you about it and not understand about it, that it's sort of about going about the relationship in a hard way. So we would choose something a little softer and a little easier. In other words, what we would encourage you to do is find the mate and then tell him about the wolves.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about in your vision, and you get a sense, in other words, bringing him in a little more slowly on that. Not because he may not go along with it wholeheartedly, but because you don't think you can find anybody who will. So you use it as a way to split your energy right away, so it's like shooting yourself in the foot before you begin.
I get it.
And in a sense, what you're doing is you're saying, I am a truly unique individual and proud of it. And you're almost daring the universe to find someone as weird as you. In other words, we can feel a little rebellion going on within you about all of this.
I do have that part of my nature.
And so get back to the subject of relationship and pick another aspect of it, and let's play with it a little bit.
Someone who loves to sing, loves to create music.
No problem there. Your energy's in perfect alignment on that one. Come back to the subject of self-appreciation, because that's where the bugaboo is.
Yes, that is definitely where the bugaboo is.
Sometimes in order to find it, it is helpful to remember a relationship that did not go so well.
Yes.
And in the slight, light, simple prodding there, a rocket goes up right away. In other words, all you have to do is probe a little bit into something unwanted, and clarity happens in the moment.
I find I have had to hide my creativity before. So someone who honors that wanting to write music, write poetry, and be in a healing profession.
Good. So you've got that. In other words, you want someone who's in alignment with those kinds of things.
Yes.
So you've projected that to the universe. Now go there mentally. In other words, get right into that vision. The two of you are together. Where are you and what are you doing?
Gosh, sitting in a wood-framed living room with a fireplace going, with lots of books and papers spread around us, and maybe guitar or piano, and we're creating either storylines or music or boy, that feels really neat.
And you see, for the first time in a long time, you have become a perfect vibrational match to your own desire.
I can feel it in my body.
Yes. Because you weren't trying to do it all at once.
Yes.
You weren't trying to undo all these years of other experience.
Yeah.
You were letting that pinpoint something wanted, and then you softly went right to what it was and extracted as much pleasure from that as you could.
Yes.
This is deliberate creating at its best.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.